Okay, welcome to class. Today is Wednesday, January 25th. Please have your assignment 98, lesson 6.6, reteaching worksheet. That is in your notes packet, page 12. We're going to go over those answers briefly, and then we're going to jump into some review stations. You're going to take most of the class to review. I want to remind you that there is a test on Friday. I am going to be hosting a review session at 8:30 in the morning on Friday morning. Any class is welcome to come, whether that's Mr. Bainey, Mrs. Kearns, or Mrs. Clark. You are welcome to attend. Please be at the doors at 8:30, and I will let you in, and you'll head to my room. And I want to remind you now that we did yesterday's simple interest. You guys can work on M12 and get those IXL skills done. I also want to remind you that M9 is finding that original amount. It was like questions number 7 and 8 on yesterday's assignment, where you have to work backwards, and that table can be really helpful. So make sure that if you have questions, ask, but let's jump into the assignment. So once again, we did a couple of the questions yesterday, or we at least started them early. You're using the pretty formula, I equals PRT on every one of these questions. I is the interest, P is the principal, which is the original amount that you either invested or you borrowed. R is your rate, which is the percent. The biggest thing is R is the rate, which is your percent, but it needs to be in decimal form, okay? And so if you find that one of your answers is, if your answer is really way too big, you probably forgot to change it to its decimal form. So once again, you guys may pause this to look through the answers. I'm not going to read through every question, but you can see on numbers 1 through 3, you were asked for 2 parts, and you got to be paying attention. If I ask you for just the interest, that is the rent. So if I put in $750, for example, on number 1 into the bank, I want my $750 back, but I'm going to get an extra $135 back. So that is called your interest, and then the balance is that total. I get my $750 back plus the $135 for a grand total of $885. And then you can go ahead and look at the rest of those questions. On the second section, when you're finding the rate, you're working backwards. So, plug in what you know, multiply here, those two to get to the 300, divide by 300, and remember, when you get this answer, it's in its decimal form, and you need to move the decimal point over 2 to get it to be 10%. Number 5, you get 8.08, which is really 8%. And number 6 often freaks some of you out, but you move that decimal point over, and really it's 1 and 0.25%, or 1 and 1. You should know that 0.25 is, so it's 1 1/4% or 1 1/4. For time, you're working backwards on this one. And so you get 1.75 years, and or 1 3/4, and so on. So you go ahead and take a look at those. Now, your teacher's going to hand out to you this activity station. So depending on your teacher, you'll either be doing this by opening up Canvas and looking, and if you don't finish it, you will go to Canvas and you will find all of the information you need on Canvas with the one that says Canvas copy attachment. And if you, as you're in class, some of you will be going in the hallway working on this, others of you will just be pulling it up on your iPads and working on these. So what you're going to do on the front is you can see that you're going to be setting up some proportions, but you're going to be using the original cost, and if you guys think of it, that is W, the percent of discount, which is your P, and the amount of discount, which is your A. And you're going to be setting up nice, pretty proportions on these, and you're going to find the sale price, okay, using the information from above. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to be buying a PlayStation, AirPods, a Harley-Davidson, and a cell phone. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to find these cards. And so, for example, for the PlayStation, you're going to notice you're going to be given the percent off, and you're given the original price. When you guys look at this AirPods, you will notice you have the 15% off, but it says you saved $24, so that would be your A, or your amount of discount. When you look at your Harley-Davidson, you have the total price, the original price, you have the amount you get to take off the price, and now you're asked for the percent. You're trying to work backwards to the percent. So notice you're going to be missing some things. And then on this one, the cell phone, the directions are going to tell you to go find 25% off. and so on off that original price, but you're supposed to use the shortcut as it talks about here. So you're gonna skip this box and find the amount of discount, and you're gonna try to go directly from the price to the sale price on that one. So what you will notice is, and I'll just kind of give you a heads up, so on this first one, you're missing the discount. So you're trying to find that box and then work your way. Then you're going to use your percent. You're going to go find your sales tax, your total with tax. On the AirPods, you're working backwards to find the original price. On the Harley, you're going to find the percent that's missing. Then you're going to turn over, and you don't necessarily have to do these in order, but you're going to be looking on the Camaro problem, and you're going to have information on finding the commission. Savings bond, it uses the word interest, hint, hint. So interest, and so I'm going to tell you, you're going to use the I equals PRT formula, and so you might want to write that down. Credit card, once again, interest on this one, so you're going to be using I equals PRT like yesterday. This one is a percent of change. You can go back to your notes if you need to. Loan, this is also going to be an I equals PRT question. So anytime you're dealing with interest, you're dealing with that. Percent of markup, and then we have our total, or our bill with tax, and then our tip we're adding in as well. So I want you to, and so what you'll do is you'll go around and you will find, for example, here's the Camaro, tells you the price, tells you the commission, and gives you the directions. Savings bond gives you information, you'll read about it. You're using the pretty formula. Notice it's simple interest. Credit card talks about what you're buying. You're going to have to find tax on this one, and you're going to have to find simple interest on that one as well. So that one's a lot of work. This one's a percent of change question. You're going to be finding a car loan. So once again, simple interest. Anytime you see the word interest, you are using the I equals PRT formula. So, so those of you kind of go back and make sure that you guys write that down on the ones that involve interest. Air Jordan Retros, you're finding the percent of markup. And then once again, you're going to be buying a meal. Pay attention to the wording of things so that you don't miss out on something in particular. So this is your review assignment. So your job is to get the front and the back done. And when you finish it, then your job is to work on your IXL and prepare for your test, which is on Friday. So once again, you might want to screenshot this or take a picture and know that all the ones that I put I equals PRT, that's where you're using I equals PRT. I will give you that formula on the test. I have some students that as soon as you learn something new, they start applying it to everything. The only time we use I equals PRT is when it's an interest question. The rest of the time you're setting up a proportion. So once again, this is, so going back to this, this is assignment number 98. So when you finish that, actually correction, this is assignment number 99. So tomorrow is our exciting 100 assignment. All right, have a wonderful day.